Hey y'all, it's Ker-Leen. Thank you for tuning back into Lemomlife. Today I have a perfume unboxing for you, specifically a luxury perfume. So if you're interested in watching, please stay tuned. Hey beauties, thank you so much for joining me again. For those of you who are already subscribed, and to those of you who may have just stumbled on my video, thank you so much for clicking this video. On this channel, I do lifestyle, luxury, I do review videos, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of my homeschooling journey, homeschooling my 3 kids. So if those are things that you think would interest you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love it if you would join the family. Also, it's so important that you hit your notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, so let's get into it. Valentine's Day every year is special for my hubby and myself because we celebrate February 13th because that's when things started between us. And then the next day was kind of like Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day fell on a Saturday. And so my hubby and I always celebrate the 13th as kind of like the official kicking off because that's when things started between us. So it's just a very special time. And this past Valentine's Day, we did take a trip to Louis Vuitton and I was able to pick up a Louis Vuitton fragrance. There were a couple that I was eyeing. I had been there the month before and I was sniffing and I put my nose on a couple of different fragrances and those 2 fragrances really stood out to me. So on Valentine's Day weekend, I went back and I picked up the one that I settled on. So this is the bag right here. Let's go ahead and get into this unboxing.
This is the gold paste the essay was using to color my engraving. I did get my perfume bottle engraved. It does come with your purchase. Yeah, so I guess she got a bit of that on the packaging.
As you guys saw, I went ahead and picked up Attrape-Rêves, and Attrape-Rêves really stood out to me. It was a straight up battle between Attrape-Rêves and Ker-Leen, and that's because those notes really appealed to me. But Attrape-Rêves was something that I had not smelled before and a fragrance that I didn't already have. So it was so unique, so different from anything that I currently have, and that's what helped me decide. So I went ahead and I picked it up. I've had it for less than a month, and I feel like I've put quite a dent in it. What do y'all think? I feel like that's a pretty significant dent. If I were to describe this fragrance, I would describe it as sophisticated, feminine, warm, sweet, slightly gourmand, floral, and sensual. I think those are the words I would use to describe it. I will go ahead and list the notes for you all on the screen. So let's go ahead and spray this on my receipt envelope. I get that beautiful burst of just juicy citrus. It is so good, y'all. And then I feel like the florals start coming through next. So that peony starts coming through. It also has this rose in it. I think it's called a May rose, if I'm not mistaken. But the florals start coming out. That peony really starts coming through. Oh, it's so sweet. The heart of it is what I feel like is so sweet. Just beautiful, bright sweetness. And then that depth, you get that depth towards the end. So you get that cacao towards the end, as well as that patchouli. But I feel like the patchouli and the cacao are so beautifully blended together. This is a really beautifully blended fragrance because nothing is jarring. The top, the heart, and the base notes, everything at each of those phases is blended together so beautifully. So now I'm getting that cacao and that patchouli. Yeah, so this is just, it's soft, but it's deep, it's sensual, it's rich and sophisticated. It is just, I wouldn't describe this as powdery. It's not quite powdery, it's more soft. It's a soft, sweet, deep, rich, sensual, fruity floral is how I would describe this. It has like a touch of spice, and I think it's because of the patchouli that it has like a touch, just a pinch of like what I would classify as spiciness. But overall, this is just a beautiful fragrance. It's also a bit creamy because of the cacao. It's just so nice. When I put this on, I feel sophisticated, I feel pretty, it's a bit sensual, so I feel sexy. It's just a really beautiful, beautiful fragrance. So I'm on Fragrantica on my phone here, and the main accords for this fragrance are fresh, floral, rose, warm, spicy, fruity, cacao, tropical, patchouli, woody, citrus. And those top notes are lychee, ginger, and bergamot. The middle notes are peony, cacao, Turkish rose. That's what I was smelling, the rose with the peony. And then the base notes are patchouli. So the lychee and the ginger and the bergamot is what I'm getting at the top. Now that I'm looking at these notes, I do smell the lychee in here. The ginger, not so much, but I do smell the lychee. Those middle notes, the peony mixes so beautifully with that Turkish rose. And then for me, I more so get the cacao and the patchouli together towards the dry down. So on my skin, the cacao and the patchouli is what makes up most of the dry down. But again, the patchouli is not very piercing. It gives it a bit of that warm spiciness is what I feel. It is just a dream. It is just a dream on my skin. Some people describe this as smooth. I would say definitely smooth, definitely fruity floral, definitely a bit tropical. I would even say it's a pinch creamy only because of the cacao. It's just a really, really beautiful fragrance. Aesthetically, it is just a gorgeous bottle. I love the top. I love that it is a magnetic top, but it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous bottle. I feel like this fragrance is perfect for year-round and also for any occasion. For me, I work from home and I also homeschool my kids, so I tend to wear my fragrances whenever I feel like it. That being said, although I feel like you can wear this anywhere, if you work in really close quarters with other people, this may be something you don't want to overspray. I could see this being just fine and non-offensive if you were to lightly spray, but if you tend to like overspray this, it could be too much for people you're in close proximity with because it projects really well for like the first 3 to 4 hours. Beautiful sillage, great projection, and as far as how long lasting it is, it does start to fade right around the 4 or 5 hour mark. I would say this is not quite long lasting, but the performance, the projection, and the sillage is just gorgeous, and you definitely will get at least 4 hours out of this. This also layers well with like vanilla fragrances. I like to mix this with my Ker-Leen Vanilla 28. It also does really beautifully with my 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods. I think that works really well with this. If you want to bring out the creaminess a little bit more, then you can definitely layer this with vanilla perfumes. I kind of want to layer this with a coconut perfume just to experiment a little bit and see what I get, but this is just a beautiful fragrance to have. Although this is not quite what I would consider a crowd pleaser, I feel like most people would like this fragrance. I don't think this is quite a safe blind buy, only because there's patchouli and there's cacao in it, and you have to like those notes, you know what I mean? But all the other notes in here, those are notes most people would be familiar with. I would say you definitely want to sniff this before you purchase it. Now, the other one I was considering, the Ker-Leen, I think that's a safe blind buy. It's a fruity floral, it's bright, it's sweet, it has a tiny bit of creaminess. So if you're looking for a fragrance that you can safely blind buy from Louis Vuitton, I would say maybe that one. But this one you definitely want to get your nose on. Most people love this, so chances are you will love it too. Those are all my thoughts on Attrape-Rêves. Let me know down below if you have this one. What's your favorite part about it? Do you like the top notes? Do you like the heart notes? Do you like the dry down? what is like your favorite phase of this fragrance? And if you have any other Louis Vuitton fragrance recommendations for me, leave them down below. I'll tell you now that I love sweet, creamy, bright, floral, fruity fragrances. So if you have any other recommendations for me, drop them down below in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to go ahead and give it a thumbs up for me. Before I head out, I just wanted to encourage you today to stay focused. Stay focused on you, what you're called to do, your purpose, because at the end of the day, if you're focused, then everything else will fall into place. And go out today and be the best version of yourself possible, because you deserve it. You owe it to yourself to be the best version of you possible. So stay focused and just shine. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye.